Hi, my name is Randy, and today I'm going to talk about how climate change is affecting weather patterns, especially here in New York. Climate change is often talked about as a global issue, something happening in distant places like melting ice caps or rising sea levels. But in actuality, it's something we can actually notice in our everyday lives just by paying attention to the weather around us. Growing up in New York, I remember how the seasons used to feel a lot more predictable. By early October, it would already start getting cold, and sometimes we would even see early snowfall. Winter felt like it arrived on time, and the transition between seasons felt gradual and normal. But now, the patterns have changed. Temperatures stay warmer for longer, especially during the fall. October often feels more like late summer, and sometimes the cold weather doesn't really show up until much later, even into January. This change is mainly caused by global warming. Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide trap in heat in the Earth's atmosphere, preventing it from escaping into space. Over time, this causes the overall temperature of the planet to rise, which affects local climates like ours. Another major effect of climate change is the increase in extreme weather events. Instead of smooth, predictable seasonal changes, we can now experience sudden and sometimes intense shifts in weather. For example, we might have long stretches of warm weather and then suddenly get hit with a strong snowstorm or heavy rainfall. I've personally noticed storms that feel more intense than before, with heavier snow or stronger winds. Specifically, an example would be our last two snowstorms. I feel like those storms were heavier than past. This obviously happens because climate change disrupts normal atmospheric patterns. Warmer air can hold more moisture, which leads to heavier precipitation, whether it's rain or snow. So, even though overall temperatures are rising, extreme cold events and snowstorms can still happen. And sometimes they're even more intense. These changes don't just affect the weather, they affect our everyday lives. For example, unpredictable weather can disrupt transportation, delay school schedules, and make it harder to plan ahead. It can also affect our health. Poor air quality and rising temperatures can worsen conditions like asthma, which is a serious issue in cities like New York. In addition, climate change impacts animals, plants, and food systems. Changes in temperatures can affect growing seasons and ecosystems, which can have a long term consequence for everyone. In conclusion, climate change is not just a future problem, it's something that is already happening now. We can see it in the way that our seasons are changing and increasingly intensify as the time goes on. Thank you for listening.